Welcome back, everyone, to the If You Build a Podcast. I'm Riyad Ali.
Hello, I am Will Ellis, and we want to thank you guys so much. We have now launched our first episode in our heads. No, it's been launched. It's been launched. Love the support. We appreciate you guys so much. Riyad?
Of course. So as we mentioned before in our previous podcast, If You Build a Podcast is about entrepreneurs, business leaders, and their journey. We're going to cover stories about the good, the bad, the ugly, what it takes to be in their business, the highs, the lows, the weaknesses, the failures, everything about it.
All aspects
all
of
aspects.
the journey of becoming a business leader in the community, but also taking a chance on yourself and creating your own destiny for your life.
And the habits they have to undergo and everything about it.
Yes.
And have some fun at the same time.
And Jayden is our first female guest on If You Build It, the podcast. And let me just talk about my love of this woman. I have known her most of her life. I met her at 2 years old. And she is what I love about real estate. An agent that is professional, that wants to support a client's vision, wants to create a different perception of what real estate is today. I think many agents, though she is young, can learn so much from how she works, how she speaks, and how she acts. So thank you, Jayden, for coming on today's show. Not even scripted.
Amazing.
I made it up on the fly. Thank you very much. And watch this. I'm doing the Riyad.
Yeah, there you go. You got to wing it.
I'm going to wing it. But I also
Love
like
it.
wings.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you guys for having me. And oh my gosh, first female guest.
I know, isn't
Hopefully
that
I do a
amazing?
good job.
I'm excited because I've never met you face to face. I've
Yes.
only talked to you on Instagram, and so I'm excited.
Me too.
Yes. So again, tell us a little bit about your story. I think your story is an interesting one that people should hear about.
To hear about. Okay, perfect. So I've always been into sports. I'm retired now, but played soccer.
Retired.
Like I'm a retired athlete,
Yeah.
So I played soccer at a competitive level for about 10 years, had to have a hip surgery, was told I'd never be able to play sports again, was able to recover, had to have another hip surgery, was told again I wouldn't be able to play sports. Then I realized that my body wasn't as mobile as it previously was.
Question for you. Was
Yes.
it hip impingement?
So slip growth plates.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like the same thing
No,
or not.
I've had impingement. I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah, so I had 2 slip growth plates, and then I decided to switch sports. So I switched over to volleyball. Started when I was in freshman year of high school. Was lucky enough to, a year in, get a full ride scholarship to play volleyball in California.
Wow.
So played volleyball in California. Then I played volleyball professionally in Belgium. Then I came home, started adulting, worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car for a bit. That's when I realized that I'm actually good at sales. Did you work at Enterprise?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
So I learned that I was good at sales, and then I just realized that I wasn't really fulfilling my purpose, I felt. I'd majored in psychology, minored in sociology, and at the school that I went to, there was a lot of very affluent families, and I learned that they built wealth through real estate. So I said, you know what? Let me leverage my knowledge of, wealth building through real estate, talk to people specifically within marginalized communities, and see if there's a way that I can bridge the gap between financial literacy and real estate acquisition, and use my competitive nature from sports, bring it over to real estate, and do my thing. So that's my story.
You really can apply your education one,
Yes.
but being involved in sports.
You stole my next
I know,
line.
I know. Right?
Yes.
To doing what you do every day in real estate.
100%. I feel like because this is about entrepreneurship and, set expectations, because we have 70,000 realtors in the Greater Toronto area.
90 now,
And
right?
I think it's 90.
Yeah, I think it's
90. My
Yeah.
bad, right?
Ridiculous.
And I think a lot of people watch Selling Sunset, Selling Tampa, and they have this inaccurate idea of what getting into real estate is. But I think that being a former athlete, it's having that innate drive, being organized, knowing how to problem solve, being able to communicate. All of those things really helped me be successful in the industry.
And how long in real estate now?
I've been in I just hit my 3-year anniversary.
It's
Wow.
only been 3 years?
It's only been 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
That's insane. I thought it was like 4 or 5.
No,
Just 3 years.
3 years.
And have you enjoyed it?
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's amazing. I would say that every day is different, right? And that's what I
100%.
really enjoy about it. And we're problem solvers. And once again, I'm very competitive. So I do get very excited when we're negotiating and happy for my clients. It's like they're on my team. I tell them, look, now you're on my team. We're doing this together, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to get the win, So
So
Whatever it takes legally, of course.
Yes, of course.
what was the defining moment that you said, hey, I want to be a realtor? You knew this was your career. You knew this is what you wanted to do.
I think it was after I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Honestly,
Good book.
that
Yeah.
book really just changed my perspective. I feel like a lot of people, especially in marginalized communities, we don't see real estate as a means to build wealth, right? So when I read that book, I was like, you know what? I want to buy a house. And I'm like, how can I acquire enough funds to purchase a property? And then everything sort of came together. And I'm like, you know what? Let me get into real estate. Let me learn firsthand from the Wills, because Will and I, we go way back, right? So all of these people, and just learn firsthand and get an idea. It's actually not.
That was scripted.
Jayden did ask. You did ask, but I thought it was 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
3 years
It's
ago.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you think about being real estate? I'm like, what did I say? Then do it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you did say do it.
And
You did
I
say
also
do
said
it.
when you go on social media, do you
Yes.
only. Don't do
Yes.
anything gimmicky. Don't be fake. Don't be that guy. Be
Yes.
who you need to be. People will want to know you even more.
Exactly. No, and I think I'm lucky. A lot of my business does come from social media, right? And because I take the educational perspective, I do attract a lot of people. And I mean, we're not scripted, so we're just going to go into this, but it's just the fact that like one of the issues that I face is that a lot of people, they see me and I'm super young, right? So a lot of people's
You're
parents.
not that young. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
You're
I'm
young.
turning 27 next month.
Yes.
Yes.
27 is not that young.
See, but from a parent's
comparing to us now, it is.
Well, yes.
See, because
Yes.
when they look at, like, for example, someone who's transacted with you, right? Their kid might see me on social media and say, hey, I want to work with Jayden. But then the dad's like, no, like, we have Riyadh. You need to use Riyadh, right?
Yeah.
And then,
I love that example.
Yeah,
You got
I mean,
Riyadh,
same happens with Will Ellis's too, okay?
I know.
Be the grandpa. You know?
The grandpa, right,
Yeah. So yeah, social media has really enabled me to attract people and sort of show people that I know what it is that I'm discussing. And it's enabled me to sort of attract clients as opposed to chasing them. So
is your
been
business
good.
mainly from Instagram or
Yeah.
all platforms?
yeah, it's mainly from Instagram. I do
Okay.
I do pretty decent from Instagram. But that's the thing. There's a lot of realtors who even get their licenses and they go on social media and they're not necessarily themselves, or they don't find the niche that they want to focus on. I knew that when I got in, I wanted to focus on people who are my age, because those are the ones who are probably going to have the ability to, quote unquote, break generational curses, right? Because I find that a lot of people in older generations, they're like, you know what? I never had the ability to purchase. So that's sort of out of the picture for me. So I wanted to work with people who look like me, sort of understand me. And that's why I also wanted to purchase my first house, to sort of lead by example, right? Because It's one thing to say, oh yeah, I'll do X, Y, Z, but then it's another for me to post on social media, hey guys, I'm giving you the game plan. I just followed it. If you follow what I'm saying, you can do the same thing. So
Nice.
yeah.
Very good.
Well, you want to ask another question?
Okay. what was your hardest day in being in real estate? Is there a day that you almost thought about quitting, or that you're like, this may not be it for me?
Honestly, I'd say it's like the day even after I got my license, because the thing is, everything's through Humber now, right? But I just find that the stuff that you learn in the course isn't really applicable to anything. You don't know how to write an offer. You don't know how to do anything, right? So Will, for the first few months, I was calling this guy. He's like, Jayden, calm down. It's really not that serious, But I just feel like, I felt very overwhelmed, because I felt like I didn't necessarily have the resources and the support to help facilitate a transaction, because it's, the biggest transaction someone may ever partake in their lives.
Exactly.
And if I'm writing offers on the wrong form, it's just not a good look, right? So I would say it's probably just right after I got my license.
Was there a deal that ever went bad that hurt the most, or that?
I've been very lucky with my deals. I will say the most stressful one for me was probably on closing day. I always tell my clients, and my lawyer tells my clients, get insurance on the property, right? And if you don't get insurance on the property, for those of you who don't know, you most likely won't get the funding from the lender, because they don't want to lend on a property that's not insured. So last minute, we ended up getting insurance. We go to the property, it's flooded on closing day. So I'm like, holy crap. I'm surprised. I don't know if I called you or not, because the house was flooded. So I called my lawyer. I'm like, what are you supposed to do? We ended up doing a claim through the other party's insurance, because it obviously occurred prior to us actually closing on the transaction.
Right.
But that was something where I was like, holy crap, because my client, they couldn't move in right after, right? We had to have people come in, get rid of the water, redo the flooring, all of that stuff. So that's probably one of the more hectic experiences I've had.
But it's good to have it early, though.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
So what are your thoughts on the market today?
I think it's a great market for buyers. A lot of people, when they see me post this stuff on social media, they're like, oh, she's a realtor. She just wants to sell houses. But the way that I look at it is the average house, let's just say, has gone down, let's say $200,000, right? That's $200,000 less on the principal of your mortgage. Your monthly mortgage payments might be a bit higher because of interest, but the saying in real estate, right? Date the rate, marry the house. At the end of the day, the price that you pay for the house is never going to change, but your interest rate will. And the issue now is a lot of people are saying, oh, the market's crashing, there's no demand. It's like, there's a lot of demands, but the issue is we don't have enough people who are qualifying because interest rates are so high, right? So I think that as long as interest rates stay high, there's going to be less competition. And when there's less competition, you can protect yourself. You could put financing conditions in, you can put inspection conditions in, you could potentially face less people when it comes to bidding wars, so less inflated sale prices, right? So I tell people right now, if you can qualify while others can't, get in the market, and then once rates go down, the house prices are going to go up,
and
right?
They're ready to have the game at that point. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
would you recommend to someone that is a renter
yeah,
that they should somehow figure out how they should buy?
Not necessarily. The math has to make sense too, right? Because a lot of people, they do qualify for the mortgage, but we're all foodies. We like the Uber Eats. We like to go out for dinner. It's like we need to make sure that we have extra funds to also live our life, right? So I'm a big proponent of getting in while you can, but also getting in while it makes sense. Right. If someone comes to me and I'm like, I always say, hey, how much do you have saved? What's your income? What's your credit score? From there, I'll have an idea of, okay, if they're a decent candidate or not. But if someone is paying, for example, I have a client, $1,400 a month for a downtown Toronto condo, right? Keep it, right? I'm thinking of buying. I'm like, look, based off of your down payment, you're going to be paying at least like $3,000 a month, which is doubling your expenses. I don't think the math makes sense right now. So depending on the situation and what people can afford on a monthly basis, it may or may not make sense.
So you said 3 years have been in the business, right?
Yeah.
So COVID, basically.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to a new realtor now? Now that you went through COVID, surge of the market, softening.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody new?
I would just say stay level-headed and always work on your business and trying to get clients, right? Because as the market shifts, people's sentiments towards getting into the market also shifts. So there's less of the pie to sort of get a piece of, right? We've seen a significant decrease in the amount of transactions too. So I would say it's always having a long-term perspective. If you get 1 or 2 deals, you might make some decent money, but what are the deals that you're going to have after that? Because if you're not constantly working on your business, you're not going to have a solid pipeline and you're not going to get paid for a long time. And depending on your age, I'm lucky to not have any kids or anything to take care of, but I have my mortgage. But if you have a family and stuff, you have to take that into consideration for sure.
Yeah, I've always said it's business as usual, no matter what the market is.
Yes.
I think the market now is because my background's in sales, right? So I always think this market is best people that can sell. Right?
Yes.
And so and I believe that most agents that got into the industry in the last 5 years were at a time when the market was very, very easy for sellers, right? And hard for buyers. Yep. And I agree with you, it is a buyer's market. I also believe if you're a good seller with a good product to sell, then your home will sell for a good price. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of it. If you renovate the right things, then you should be able to get a decent price for your house. What is your biggest pet peeve when you work with unprofessional agents? When you work with other agents?
I would just say lack of communication and lack of knowledge. Sometimes realtors, I'm trying to do a deal with you and you're not answering your phone. And I'm how are you not answering your phone? You know
what drives me the craziest about everything? Is you have a listing and they don't put their cell phone number.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my god.
What year is this?
I know.
Call the office and
call
the office.
office.
Like, let me page them.
I don't care how busy you are. Put your cell phone number.
Yeah. Honestly, a little hack. I don't know if you guys do this. I always search their Facebook. I find that the Facebooks have the cell phones, but that's why are you wasting my time? You're not above, or at least have your assistant if you're a big realtor, right? Yeah. Let's get direct access. But I would just say communication and then just lack of knowledge. Sometimes realtors list houses. I get it if their clients have unrealistic expectations. I'm probably just not taking that listing in general, right? But when you're trying to have fact-based conversations and they don't really know the facts, I find that that's sort of hard to negotiate with also. So I would say those are probably my 2 main pet peeves right now.
What about on social media? What do you see agents doing that drives you crazy?
Number one that drives me crazy is people literally taking my content verbatim. I have come across a lot of realtors.
They're copying your content?
Okay, for example, I say yo in some of my videos, right? And there will be some realtors who will start with yo. and they'll say like word for word my videos, and it's
We're
like
getting
you
some
have to
copycats.
be.
I might use the word yo.
Yo, okay.
Yo.
I mean,
Yo.
it might get a couple views. I don't know. It's helped me.
Yeah.
But no, I think that it's that. And my issue with that is that if you're copying someone else's content, do you really know what you're talking about, right? Because the whole point of putting out educational content on social media is to sort of empower people with knowledge and maybe get a client or two. But there's no good in acquiring these clients if you don't know how to sort of answer their questions afterwards. I would also say it goes back to the selling sunset thing, like perpetuating this idea of luxury lifestyle. Now, some realtors, they do a lot of deals and they can afford the lifestyle that they're living, but there's also a lot of realtors I find who are flexing all of these things that they buy, and it's like,
It's
do
image.
we have, it's
Yeah.
image,
Yeah.
right? And
Do you know an agent that drives an Audi? I don't know one agent.
you know what? Audi, they're nice cars, but I'm talking about like,
I
they
know.
are nice, but you got the bright Lambos and
Yes.
all of these things, and it's
G-Wagons.
G-Wagons
Yeah,
are
yeah, okay.
crazy expensive.
I will say one day I am going to drive a big body Range Rover. That is just a blacked
But
out Range
I always
Rover.
hear from mechanics, they are the worst cars to drive, apparently.
They look amazing.
They look insane.
And
Oh,
when I'm
beautiful.
able to afford
Yes.
it and justify it
Yes.
through passive income,
Yeah.
I'm buying my Range. I don't care.
You know, I just got a new car. And I'm not a guy that wants a Lexus. I just wanted a car that looked like me. My beautiful black Highlander looks exactly like me. When I see the car on the road in my park or in my driveway, I go, that's
Willis.
Will. That looks like me with four wheels. It's an amazing feeling.
Amazing. See, so
Car is me.
see, my car right now is not me, and you know this. So I I need a me car, which is a big body Range.
She's got a Fred Flintstone car. Her feet hang out the bottom, you know.
Exactly. One day.
Right, but I agree with the flexible. Let's talk about when you talk about social media.
Yeah.
How many hours a week, a month you set aside to do it? Because you are doing. When I looked at videos, you do a lot more. And God, I'm showing my age here. You do a lot more reels,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes.
You do an actual some basic post.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how many hours a week, and then what kind of planning goes into one reel?
Okay. So I know some of these people probably don't follow me. What do you think the answer to that question is, Riyadh?
How long it takes you?
Yeah, how many hours a week am I spending?
Riyadh has no idea what goes on social media.
Because you came from sports and you came as this like,
Yeah.
you have a system.
Efficiency.
Yeah, I think you probably plan like on a Sunday. You plan out for your week.
Okay.
This is
Hours, maybe 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week. Okay. I was going to say you listen to another podcast I'm on, but 10 hours is a little high. No, but Sundays.
Yeah.
So once a month, I will write out every single reel idea I have. The next day, I will write out word for word. My reels are actually scripted, quote unquote. I have exactly what I'm going to say, and I'll say, okay, today, this is why I'm going to tell you guys why it's a good time to buy a house. Cut the clip. New clip. I think it's a good time to buy a house because XYZ. So I actually record a bunch of little clips and merge them, but
you edit them yourself.
I edit them. Yeah, you just upload the video on Instagram and it merges for you. But I have enough content to go till probably the end of January right now, and I spend like maybe 10 hours a month.
Okay, not bad.
10 hours
Yeah.
a month, and then how long does it take for you to do a reel?
No, that's like included, like
That's included
recording.
filming,
Yeah,
everything.
like I'll just spend a day. I'll change my shirt, change my hair, and I'll probably bust out like maybe 10 reels. And then I post a reel a week, so that's good for 10 weeks
You
of
post
content.
one reel a week.
Yeah, but I'm always active on my stories, so
stories.
it makes people think I'm a bit more active than I am. I used to do 2 reels a week, but I just found I couldn't come up with enough ideas, right? And especially as a new realtor, when I first started, I didn't know anything. So I was Googling like top 10 questions people ask realtors. And I was like on here like, guys, these are the top 10 questions people ask realtors, right? But now that I have more experience, I know like people don't know the difference between a deposit and a down payment. People don't know they need cash for closing costs. So then I start to create content around the conversations that I have or the DM questions that I get. I'm like, you know what? This is good to share with the masses. And then I'll just record a reel on it.
So the people that follow you, are they mainly younger? Like
Yeah. I would say the majority of my followers are between the ages of 20 to 40 in the GTA. So,
and is most of your business in the GTA or Durham?
most of my business is in Durham.
Okay.
It just so happens that a lot of people, they are in the GTA in general, and then just with the way their budgets work out, right? They're coming to Durham, so it ends up working out quite well for me. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So tell us a typical day for you, because again, when people think about you as a realtor,
Yeah.
because so you and Riyadh are very similar. You guys are high performing athletes. People don't realize this little man right here, black belt,
Oh,
Only
really?
eating.
I
But
didn't do
what kind of karate here?
Karate.
The regular
Yeah.
karate, not jiu-jitsu or taekwondo.
Karate is my main discipline. So Shitoru karate, which is a very old style Okinawan martial
Sounds
art.
legit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's all over the world fighting everything for many years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably why he's so short. It was a lot of hits on the head.
All the hell.
And so
I'm sitting on a phone book right now, right?
so when it comes to his schedule,
Yeah.
and I bet you with your schedule, it's probably very regimented.
Yeah.
Tell people what your typical day is like. Like what was today like?
Yeah, honestly, it really just depends. I find that social media just gives me so much time, right? Because I don't do door knocking. I don't do cold calls. Like I am just
Did you ever do
straight
door
up.
knocking?
I tried it twice.
So did I.
Got the door slammed in my
Yeah.
face, and I'm like,
a woman. I'll tell you. So I was here. It was middle of summer. Like I'm not considered to say that I'm in any kind of shape. My only shape is round. So I'm very. I walk up to the door, and breathing like a dragon, putting out a fire. And then I ring the doorbell. The woman's like, "Sir, you should not be knocking on the door in the middle of the day. Women are home typically. They're big. I'm a big black man. I get what she was saying,
oh
and
my
I'm like,
gosh.
good point. Never did it again.
Never did it again. Wow.
Plus, I hate walking. Like unless I'm working out, I don't want to walk.
Yeah, so that's like a double deterrent, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
like-
not even trying to door knock in the
Yeah.
first place because you're not trying to walk,
Yeah.
and then she just does
Yeah,
that
I'm like,
too,
okay,
right?
makes sense. Sorry, continue on.
Yeah, no, it's just like I know that I provide a lot of value, right? So I actually created a community Facebook group, and I was handing out little flyers. Hey, join the community Facebook group, because I'm just strategically doing that.
Mhm.
So I was knocking on doors, people opening the doors. Oh, I don't want to buy anything. Slam the door in my face. And I was like, wow, it's just unfortunate because I know that people from social media, they know that I'm only trying to provide value, right? Whereas when I'm knocking on someone's door, they don't know the value that I can provide.
Exactly.
Additionally, the amount of time to get even, 5 quality contacts from door knocking versus posting on social media, there's no comparison.
The reach is
way
insane,
better, right? So I would say, usually most of my clients, they do work 9 to 5. So the majority of my business does actually happen outside of 9 to 5.
the
It's going to be
evenings.
in the evenings.
Yep.
And as an entrepreneur, like weekends, I think I have a weekend and then I really don't.
Yeah.
So I would say it's just mostly like focusing on social media, going through my DMs. I'm probably having like at least 50 DM conversations a day, which
Wow.
is a job in of
Wow.
itself.
So question,
right?
do you have a CRM? Like, do you use a CRM?
I was telling Will about this.
No, 'cause
don't start with
I
them with
know
CRMs.
I know another realtor does very well online, and he does not use CRMs at all. Like everything is through
And Riyadh, what are you all about?
CRMs. But again, it depends how you build your business. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But I'm curious.
She needs one.
No, yeah. So I do have a CRM. The issue was I was not extracting information and putting it in the CRM. So people would reach out to me. I would screenshot the information. Next thing you know, a year later, when I'm like, oh, shoot, I have all these leads I need to follow up on. A third of them are either not on Instagram or they changed their name. So that's a bunch of people I lost.
The hardest thing is when you get leads that are not serious at the time,
Right.
keeping in contact with them. I think that's where CRM base is
Very
good.
clutch.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm sort of changing my business right now and trying to extract as much information as possible from social media and into my CRM. Just because at the end of the day too, I love social media, but we don't know how long it's going to last. Right.
100%.
So I don't want to put all of my
Eggs in one
energy
basket.
on there. And I also am now focusing more on my database and my sphere.
Yes, so they keep being new to I never did a CRM.
Okay.
So we DR group, hey, real estate team right here.
Yeah. One year.
I was a guy that had a CRM, but I used this for everything.
Yes.
And paper and
And
folders.
paper.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
notes
like the
and-
doctor's office.
Sounds
and-
about
and
right.
stickies in a file of
Yeah.
True story. Last year I was forced took months to go through all my stuff, create an Excel spreadsheet. It took how many weeks? 2, maybe
Months?
12, maybe
Months?
12, maybe 3 months. That has
Yeah.
helped because we have a CRM system that I don't touch. But I add to it. Email clients information. We email about listings, about market updates, about upcoming events.
Mhm.
It makes things so much easier.
That's
Because instead of me trying to remember everyone's email, which I actually could, it's just makes things,
impressive.
so much easier to get things done. So yes,
Yeah.
you guys should chit chat after.
And he's only using 10% of our
I know.
CRM.
I'm just literally using email.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so this
there's-
is like, I guess, a shout out to which CRM are you guys using?
right now I'm using follow-up.
Follow up. So that's
Yeah.
the one I'm considering.
Oh.
I did the same. It was so horrible, but I just finished putting. I only have 3 people left
Right.
to put in the CRM, and I'm doing those people tonight.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting from ground zero. But any aspiring realtors, you got to build a solid
Yeah,
foundation
yeah.
because if you don't, you are going to be crying,
Not-
inputting all the information in your
Yep.
laptop when you did not need to do that in the first place.
And again, learned Excel. I'm trying to say my age here. 25 years ago, so I barely use it. So I went in Excel and had Melissa, the wife, go through and create these little
Columns.
Amazing.
columns, and it took. And I was surprised how many contacts I actually had. I had more than I thought.
Yeah.
I had a ton.
Because he gave me a number like, I had like 50 people. I'm like, you have 198 or whatever it was at the time,
Amazing.
right?
So I was like, wow. And so now they get birthday mails, like a gift card in the mail. They get all these different little things.
Yeah, one of his cousins got a gift card. He's like, Ria, did you send a gift card out?
Yeah, sending gift cards and
That's
happy.
amazing.
Like, they get emails on their birthdays. Like all those little touch points for anyone that's getting into business is important, because real estate is not like, I am so glad that you're here, because real estate is not about one transaction.
But it's not transactional. It's a
lifelong. It is a long-term
Yep.
relationship, and it's so important. Like, people are like, "Oh, it's hard to get a quick buck." The money's not easy to make in real estate, and only what's the percentage? Like 10% or 20%.
I think that's 5% do more than like 20 deals a year.
20 deals a year.
Yeah, last year I think it was 40% of realtors did 0 deals.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's important that people realize that the perception that's out there is completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's a hard business to get into, and there's a lot of us, and that is why you only have X amount doing so well.
Well, 2021, the average North American realtor average salary was $44,000 in North America.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then we get dinged for these outrageous fees.
Yeah.
But again, so it's not as easy as it looks. And when you talk to people that are thinking about, buying a house, how do you approach, especially those first-time home buyers, or actually for you, this is a good one. For those that are boyfriend, girlfriend, not married.
Yeah.
How do you approach that?
Those are my favorite. I love those. Yeah. Well, the way that I approach it is, number one, I need to see where they're at financially, right? Like, are they ready or are they not? Sometimes an issue that I find is a lot of people, they either have the minimum down or they have the income, but they don't have the other, right?
So how does that conversation go with talking about finances? Do they want to talk to a mortgage broker, or are they fine talking to you about their finances?
Yeah, no, a lot of people are fine talking to me about their finances, but like I said, it's not necessarily business with 50 people, but I'm DMing a lot of people. So I do outsource a lot of that to my mortgage partner. He does have like a Calendly link. So what I do is I'll say, hey, how much do you make? How much do you have saved, your credit? And based off of that, I either know, okay, I'm sending it to him, or let me dive a little bit deeper and then sort of take it on from there. So we have a bit of a system. I'd say about 80% of leads, they're going to him. But if someone seems like, okay, they're super serious, they don't know how to structure it, or, hey, I want to buy a house with my mom. I say, does your mom have a house already? Yeah. Does she have a mortgage? Yeah. Okay, maybe she's not the best person to add. Do you know anyone else? And they'll say, oh yeah, my cousin. And then I'll have a conversation with them and the cousin and sort of merge it. But I would say mostly it's me filtering out, outsourcing, and then having a couple of conversations.
Would you do rentals as well? Would you take on a rental?
I don't really do rentals.
Okay.
I'll do a rental here and there, but if I have a client who purchases a property and we need to rent out the property, I'll rent it out for them. Yes.
Hate leases, but yeah, leases are common.
Yeah.
Yes.
What when it comes to people on their credit score, because you work with bad credit.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you give them when it comes to them? How would they go about improving their score? We have a lot of you talk about this all the time in your socials.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. People that are on there with their
this
or whatever else.
Yeah.
What advice can you give someone that may want to live that lifestyle, but also wants to get into owning real estate and building wealth?
Yeah, so I'm going to give out a shout out to Ebony L and Finance for the Culture. Okay, those are my two finance ladies. So if someone comes to me saying, hey, my credit's low, I say, okay, here's the Instagrams. Who do you want to talk to?
Ebony L, is she local?
They're both local. Yeah, they're both local.
I'd like them to come on here.
Come on here. Okay, they love podcasts. We do a lot of panels and stuff together, so they can hop on here.
Yeah, we want more ladies.
You want more ladies?
You're
okay.
the first lady on here, so you're going to be our conduit.
Yes, you tell me what type of ladies you want. I want everything.
People that are experts in their field. And
okay,
so, yeah, 100%.
You guys will love them. So yeah, I'll let them know. But that's essentially, it's like if someone comes to me, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, have you filed taxes? No. Okay, here's my tax person. Go talk to them, right? So I really leverage the people around me. But if someone's like, hey, my credit score is low, I'll say, okay, this is how your credit score is calculated. Do you think that you use more than 30% of the credit accessible to you? Oh, yes, I use 90%. Okay, so let's see how we can sort of scale that back, because that's going to impact 30% of your credit score, right? Let's look at credit utilization. So it's more of an educational perspective. And it's amazing because this is a part of the reason I got into the business, is to impact people's lives positively.
Right.
But I was having a phone call with someone yesterday and they were telling me how they believe that I had a big influence when it came to their credit score increasing and them being able to get their first credit card, right? So it's just those things of putting those tips out, because people just don't know what they don't know, right? And I only learned about how your credit score was calculated once I got into the industry, but it's just providing these little nuggets, and a lot of the time it goes a long way. Once again, if I feel like a conversation with them via DMs.
You've done a reel like that before, I believe.
Yes.
But I think
I've done
you should
a
do
couple.
another reel, because I won't do what you do.
Yeah.
Another reel where you sort of literally show, maybe bring on a partner to do a reel with you about how the credit score, like do like a whole graph. People understand how the credit score works. If someone has a credit card, utilization, and blah, 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 blah. Because I think that would be a good, like a series you can do.
100%.
Series, a good visual.
Because I do agree with you. Most young people, and I also find with young people, actually, I'm not going to say young, culturally.
Yeah.
Most people, and we're all cultured, some more than others. But but fear having credit cards.
Yeah.
And don't have credit cards.
Yeah.
And have, and have pay-as-you-go cell phones, and don't trust anyone, and that hurts them. I think that hurts people more long term. I had a client that had a zero credit score because they've never had credit, and they're in their 40s. So I think getting over that fear is something that you should also maybe discuss.
And that's like another pillar that I actually get my business from too, is I do a lot of public speaking. So I go to elementary schools, high schools, sports clubs, etc., and I teach youth what a credit score is, a debit card versus a credit card, all of these things, so that they're better equipped when they're younger. Because a lot of us don't have those people within our households to have those conversations with, right? Their parents might think, oh no, credit, those people are scammers. No, but it's like realistically, credit is going to be your key to a lot of things in life. If you don't have those funds, you're going to need to tap into credit.
100% agree with you.
And it follows you around for life.
I got a credit card. I have the same credit card I got when I was 18. I still have it.
Wow.
And that credit card has been my life's blood. Like, it gets me like my house, my cars, everything that I have.
Yeah.
Because I learned at a young age from my parents.
Yeah.
And my parents were immigrants, but they understood my parents. I don't know how they raised 5 kids with no debt. They had no debt. They had a mortgage. Okay. Like I don't have kids, and I have that. Right? You
have a dog though, right?
I have a dog. The dog. You should see the photos. See the photos most posted of the dog for Halloween. Ridiculous. You see those?
No.
The dog put his paw on a pumpkin. Like, it was just so foolish. But I think people need to educate themselves, and there's so much noise out there.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's good that you're out there educating people, and so when you're sort of out there in the community, how can people find out where you are?
It honestly, it really depends. Like, a lot of the times it's the organization. Like, there's 150 for free, and they do there's a lot of ex professional athletes and affiliations with like the NBA and stuff. So they found me on social media, said, hey, look, I feel like you really match what we do. We bring in educational professionals or financial professionals to teach the kids, right? So they sort of found me, then they put me on their social medias, etc., where I have like a lot of female youth groups. Most of the time, it's people reaching out to me. It's not necessarily me reaching out to them, but then speaking at one place, there might be someone who's affiliated with another organization who then asks me to sort of speak there. Right. So it's a very organic type of situation. I don't really put out there, like I might post a story, hey, if you want me to speak at your school, I'll do this, but it's more organizations reaching out to me and me being happy to chat
and was
with
this
them.
Part of your plan?
It wasn't, but I'm realizing that it's very great for exposure. Social media is awesome, but also sometimes I go to these events and people are like, oh my gosh, I follow you on social media, you know? So it's really cool just to meet a lot of these people in person too. And I'm also going to start doing in-person seminars.
That's good.
I'm going to be partnering with my mortgage partner just because I feel like, once again, a lot of my relationships are on social media, but I want to take them off of social media and meet these people. It's one thing to see their pictures, but it's another to, for example, us, right? Now we're best friends, right? But if it's different. So I just think, meeting people in person it really just brings the relationship to a new level.
Over food. You love food. He loves food. You two, honestly.
Babusas? What is it?
Sababas.
Yeah.
We'll go.
But no, but like food in general. Like, you love this. Like, he loves like the passion. Like, you would not know this. That works out every day. Like he loves food so much, and you two would get along so well. I think it's amazing. I think it's incredible. You know, you should like do like a cooking thing together. You know, it'd be kind of a YouTube cooking and talking.
There we
about
go.
real estate.
Cooking thing with Melissa too, though, because
Well,
she's
true.
a chef.
She's a chef, but I want to see you two cook.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Do you know how to cook?
I can cook decently. Yeah, you can ask
You
my
do?
mom.
Here and there, yeah. We'll
Oh,
do it.
I'm gonna ask your mom because what can you cook?
What do you want to eat? I mean, I used to cook a lot of meat, but now that I
Okay.
don't eat meat,
Okay, let's go there.
I
Thank
make
you.
a good lasagna.
How does one person not eat meat for 6 years to suddenly start eating bacon? Like, how does one do that?
One has a crazy dream about bacon and then orders on Uber Eats the next day. They leave the bacon on the bagel and they're like, this must be a sign. Let me eat the
bagel
bacon.
and cream cheese? With
No. Cream cheese and bacon, no.
Oh,
No.
that's the best.
No, it had egg, cheese, some arugula, some garlic aioli, and
Where was this
the
from?
bacon.
Yeah, no, I'm getting hungry.
Oh, it's someplace in Vaughan. I forget the name. But anyways, they corrupted me. 6 years later, I go home. My dad sees a Costco thick maple bacon in the fridge. What's going on here? My mom's a vegetarian. My brother's not here.
Yeah.
Guys, I eat bacon now. I made bacon before I came here.
You eat bacon a lot right now?
Yeah, like in university, I was eating like a pack of bacon a day. It was next level.
How do you make your bacon?
I make it like nice and crispy. I don't
How?
make it chewy. I fry it. I fry
Ever
it.
do
I
the
probably
oven?
cook it. I've done it in the oven. I'm not as big of a fan, but I'll probably cook it. You need the frying pan to get nice and hot first, right? So I'll
Yes.
probably put it on like 7, then I'll bring it down to like 5, and then right for the finale, I'll do like a quick 7 again. And then I gotta add some maple syrup after.
Interesting.
Yes.
And you eat the bacon just on its own, like a chip?
Yes.
So before we wrap up here,
Yes.
we have to.
I know, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, but I can talk about bacon. I can talk about bacon all the time.
Yes.
What's one message you would give our listeners about getting into business for themselves? What's a piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say believe in yourself and just start. As Nike, just do it, right? I feel like a lot of people get stuck in analysis paralysis. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to get started, because if you delay starting, your competition could potentially, get on social media, and all of those clients you're missing out on because you were too worried about putting out something that's perfect, right? So I would just say, if you have an idea, surround yourself with the right people too, who are very supportive and encouraging, and hit the ground running. Don't listen to haters.
And what are your social media handles so somebody can follow you?
At Jayden Kennedy Real Estate. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Google. You guys can give me a Google review because I was a guest on your podcast.
There you go.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 stars, please.
Maybe 4.5.
No, I'm at 5 right now. I need to keep it all 5-star reviews.
Oh, perfect. I have, how many 5-star reviews do you have? Like 50?
Like 57.
I have at 4. And I did,
Ooh.
when we rebranded last year, I lost my Google page. And remember, I tried, and I had to hire someone to investigate it. Nothing. I had to restart. I was so
gosh.
annoyed.
So see, new realtors too, that's a hack, right? I have almost the same amount of reviews as Riyadh, and he's been in the game for 4 times the amount of time I have. So just get on Google reviews
Google
ASAP.
reviews, and also is important, because you do this as well. When you go to a restaurant that you like, review them. They may also review you.
Business to business, yeah.
Yeah, it's so important to get out there and to, getting out in your community. And also, last question.
You just said it was last question, no?
Well, that was Riyadh's
You guys
last
are on
question.
different pages. It's
Yes.
okay.
Mine's more fun. I'm getting off the bacon topic, but I
Okay.
do love good bacon.
Me too.
And you got to try pork belly. You have got to try it.
Okay, I'll try
100%.
someday.
But what are you watching right now on television?
Bro, see, this is the thing about me. I don't watch TV, but when I do, it's trash television.
Okay, that's what I want to
what is
hear.
that?
So,
I have a feeling what it's going to be.
okay, what are we guessing?
I'm going to say Love is Blind, some garbage like
Okay,
that.
no, that one's extra garbage.
Okay.
That one's
Selling
extra
Sunset.
garbage.
Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset.
I watched that too.
I don't think that's garbage. I actually think that's fire, but I'll still watch that. Something like The Bachelor.
You watched The Golden Bachelor?
Gold. It's so cute.
So I watched it, and it's depressing.
I can't watch that stuff.
Why? Because you don't want.
Wait, explain to the viewers what the Golden Bachelor
The Golden
is.
Bachelor is a bachelor who is in his 70s, Gary, is dating
cute.
women that are 60 years old plus. Now, these women, for their age, look good.
Amazing.
But every single effing episode, it's them on a date. And they had an episode where remember the girls wearing the wedding dress? And she broke down because it reminded her of her wedding in 1968. And her husband's now dead. And I'm like, why? How is this entertaining? But I am.
Did you not watch it?
I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I do not think I'd like it. They go out, they make out making out it's awful.
But it's very wholesome.
It's
like,
wholesome and
it's
nice.
not very catty. It's like, okay, you know what? We've been through it. Like, we just want to find our partner, right? So shows like that, I really enjoy watching.
And when you get older, I'm getting there, but when you get older and you look like that after going through the life most of them have, they look pretty good. Not gonna lie. What else are you watching?
I like the movie White Chicks.
White Chicks?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really watch too much TV.
What are you reading? I know you read a lot.
Oh, I'm rereading How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That is a phenomenal.
I have to read that still.
Phenomenal.
Oh gosh, it's my favorite book, and it's crazy because I read it right before getting into real estate.
Yep,
and then I actually am currently reading it, probably going to finish it tonight.
Yep.
And then I'm going to compare, but I know 100% the things that I'm highlighting this time are completely different from what I highlighted the first time. But anyone who's getting into business, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you have to read that book.
Well, name a couple other books you think people should read before getting into business for themselves or real estate.
Never Split the Difference is a good book.
Okay.
I would say I liked The Wealthy Barber. I don't know if you guys
I
read
read that.
It's like a
I
smaller
met him,
book.
actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
at
cool.
a conference,
Jeez, a little flex on us. Okay.
That's rehab for you.
Yeah, just in Rich Dad Poor Dad. I really like that book.
I follow
too.
him, Rich Dad Poor Dad. What we do on social, and great insights. Every day he has a inspirational, morning quote.
Yeah.
And I always like to, I read Subtle Art of Not Giving an F.
Yes.
I'm not gonna swear here, but you know what I mean. And it really just, all these books really are just there to sort of guide you, not only in business, but in life.
Yes.
Because I think many people, you've known me for many years, and I don't care about many things, and it's so hard to get to where I am in life. You're there, but most people don't get there. Maybe I was maybe like 35 when I started to realize, like, why do I care so much about things?
Yeah.
And because you waste more time thinking about the things you didn't do or you didn't say, versus focus on how you can make it better for the next time, so you don't do the same mistake again, and improve upon yourself. So yes, thank you for coming on our podcast. What's the podcast name?
If You Build It.
Thank you, the podcast. And again, you guys can follow us on the DR Group Facebook page. Yeah, Facebook page, but also
Instagram.
On our YouTube page, Instagram. Jayden Kennedy Real Estate is on Instagram, TikTok.
With a Y. Sorry, Jayden. I just want to clarify that.
Actually, that's true. Jayden Kennedy Real Estate on all socials. And she's very active. And please, if you are a young person out there wanting to talk to her about real estate, about life, she is your woman.
Thank you again.